Right on. Got it. Okay.
Yay!
We got it. Awesome.
Okay, good.
So is it, you can record on yours now?
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, I can't, but it's fine. Just send me the recording.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm not the host, so I can't record.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll send it to you.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen again. Cool. Okay, so have you seen a chart before, or?
I saw the chart and I was like, I sort of get it and I don't really get it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So I'll explain it a little bit to you first. So the zodiac signs are on the outside, yeah, and then these are all the houses on the inside. So it goes from 1 to 12 in order. It's, you can see the little numbers, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's the I'll use my mouse. That's the first house, and then the second house, third house, fourth house, fifth house. So each zodiac sign is the ruler of a certain house. So for example, Aries rules the first house, Taurus, Gemini, the same order that the zodiac goes in.
Okay, cool.
So and then the zodiac signs on the outside just kind of shift. It's basically a snapshot of the sky at the time you were born, of where each planet was. So we'll start with your sun, your moon, and your rising sign. So your sun sign is Aries, and and it's in the fifth house. So it's in all of those planets there together, or they're all in the fifth house. So the fifth house is Leo. So so that's double fire. It's Aries and Leo. So extra fiery, really fiery.
Feisty.
Yes, very feisty. Lots of energy. Leos, or fire signs in general, are all about just like taking action and doing things and, working out or whatever, just a lot of energy, a lot of like life force.
Yeah.
So, and then you have a stellium there, which is 3 planets when they're together. So that just kind of like amplifies that energy.
Wow.
So I'll go more into the planets that are there, because you have Venus there, which is kind of how you love, how you are in relationships. And then you have Mercury next to it, which Mercury is like how you communicate, how your mind works, kind of what your kind of like thoughts are that can like play over and over, just kind of like, for me, I have Libra there in Mercury. So Libra is an air sign, and it's all about like communicating, and it's an air sign. So it's like really flowy,
Yeah.
So you're fire, so you might be a little bit more like direct with your communicating, and you say it how it is, like in your Instagram. You're not afraid to share the shit that's important to you, which Aries is all about speaking your truth, and sharing, being the initiator, the warrior, they're all about taking action. They're the first of the zodiac sign. So they're like, it's kind of like the birth, they're like, coming out.
Get me out of here.
Here I am. And then with your Sag rising, so initially we thought it was Scorpio rising, but which is one of the harder or the hardest to have as a rising sign, because Scorpio is just a really heavy sign, and then Sag is actually one of the like happiest signs to have, so that's kind of good.
That's good.
So that's another fire sign. So you're double fire, and then your moon is in Taurus. Your moon's just in 1 degree of Taurus, so it just entered Taurus. So I wonder, so the moon is your emotional body. It's how you kind of like handle your emotions, how you process your feelings, like your, kind of what your gut tells you. So for that, and then you also have, you have 4 planets in Earth, for the quiz that I had you do. So you have a lot of Earth like on your chart, but sometimes that doesn't necessarily like, play out in your life. So
not lately. It used to. Up until last year, honestly. No, up until like a year and a half ago, I felt the strong Earth. But I feel like I lost it a lot. And now it's just like, it's a lot of fire, but there's also like a huge water, but there's like not much water in my sign. So like I don't understand where these emotions are coming from, or how I'm like, how is my Taurus even like impacting it? You know what I mean? Because I never really got like a Taurus energy from myself. But when I saw that moon, you said the senses. I also read about lazy. So I was like, that sounds like me.
Yeah. Taurus can be, Taurus represents the bull. So, and they're an earth sign. All the earth signs are kind of more slow moving. They're, a little, steady and practical and grounded. But your moon is only 1 degrees into Taurus. So it might not be like a whole lot of energy that you're feeling from Taurus.
No. So where was it before it entered in Taurus? Like, do we know?
It just left Aries. So it's like, it's right on the kind of on the cusp of being Aries. So do you feel the Aries more with your emotional nature?
I think so. Well, because, my emotion in my emotions, I can get very, I don't ask for a lot of help. I generally don't want to go too deep into how I really feel with other people because I don't want to burden them and whatever. I feel like I have a lot of stuff I just have to deal with on my own. Mm-hmm. And I feel like when I was born, at the last minute, I flipped over. So I was breech. And so they had to emergency C-section me. So I'm wondering if that like birth situation like has to do with the way my chart is just like totally different, And I know we choose when we're born. So I know all that was like divinely chosen. So maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, how I was a C-section too. And you can see sometimes in the charts, like that, different things would indicate that you have had a difficult birth. Like with Scorpio, I mean, Scorpio is almost your rising sign, if your time, you're sure it's your correct birth time.
28. Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, you're almost, it's really close to being a Scorpio rising. So,
because I think it could have been, because right, like cesarean, there's the operation, like it's not like natural, let's say, And when I was born, they said that, and they kind of like joke about this, but now that I'm thinking about, I had a very intense birth memory the other day where like I was crying and I was like, I was drugged as fuck when I came out of there. You know what I mean? And like I was very tense, like my legs, they stayed stuck I was stuck in the fetal position basically. And they tried to like, stretch me out, but like I just kept like snapping back into place. And I had the feeling the other day when I was going through like these emotions and like these memories, like I was like, I'm gonna stick with this feeling because there's something here. And I felt like I was I felt the experience that I was like drugged, confused, like I couldn't breathe, I couldn't see, I was just scared, like stuck. You know what I mean? Like, what am I doing here? You know what I mean? So maybe I wasn't even meant to be born at that time.
Wow. That's wild that you had like have such vivid memories of that time.
It was literally 2 days ago.
Wow.
Like, around the time where I was looking at my chart, around the time where I was talking to you, and I got this candle last week. It's a wolf. It's a pathfinder to help me find my path and whatever. And I meditate on it every day, and I've lit it for 7 days. And like, that's what they say to do. And I feel like it's kind of all at the same time to like help me figure this shit out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All the stuff's surfacing for you to be aware of it and to heal it.
Yeah. I know that my birth has a lot to do with my healing. So
for sure. Yeah. We hold on to that time, even when we're in the womb before we can remember, like we're affected by what's going on. Yeah. So it's good. I haven't done a ton of past life regression, but I think that could be a good thing to help with, to help in healing. Like if you're carrying over any stuff too from, past incarnations, because you can tell a little bit about, you can tell a lot about past lives by looking at somebody's chart. So I'll share a little bit about that. So if you see at the, your south node is here in Virgo. So your south node, so these are the nodes of the moon. So this is the south node, and then directly opposite is the north node, the nodes of the moon at the time you were born. And so those kind of are one thing that can talk about past lives. So your south node is kind of like where you have been in a past life, like, so it's in Virgo, and it's in the ninth house. So the ninth house rules Sagittarius. Oh, another thing I was going to ask you about your right. I'll ask you in a minute. But okay, so basically your South Node, yeah, is like a sign that you really have down. Like you know how to do, how to do that because you've lived that life before. So being Virgo is, Virgo is all about like, it's an earth sign. So they're the perfectionists. They're really like selfless and want to help other people. They're an earth sign, so they're all about like details and organization and planning things and having like structure. The full moon was just on Virgo, so you probably know about Virgo. But does that relate to you? Do you feel like you've kind of lived that life
I
before?
feel yes, because honestly, I'm telling you, this last year and a half has completely been a shift, but I think it's because of the Saturn return,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not the best at organizing, but I've always been good at planning and goal setting and like doing things on time. And like, I've always really been good at following to-do lists, even though it's not in my like fiery nature. I'm like, oh, fucking whatever. But like, there's always been that part of me that's like, no, like this is really important. Like even money and stuff like that, I'm not great with it. And it's not like my main, let's say, focus, but there's this deep part of me that knows that that's really important.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where my security is, but I'm afraid of it because I don't feel secure in it yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's like care, sort of.
Yeah. You have Saturn in Capricorn, as I have all those same planets in Capricorn too. The stellium there of Uranus, Neptune, and Capricorn. So Capricorn or Saturn is your life lesson. It's like what you need to learn how to do in this life, which is, it's generational. So all those planets are together, or Saturn's in Capricorn for me and a lot of people in that generation. So I take that as, so Uranus, I want to try to make it as simple for you as I can, but
yeah,
Uranus,
and I'm understanding everything, so this is great. Yeah.
Okay. So Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn are all there together. So Saturn being your life lessons, kind of like the hard lessons that you need. Well, hard or just something that doesn't come naturally to you. Like money and work and like like having a Capricorn is all about routine and being really practical and grounded and like accomplishing their tasks. They're totally work oriented. Like they're not a lot of feelings, just like getting shit done.
Yeah.
So, so a Saturn being there in Capricorn and then also Neptune and Uranus, I kind of take it as like our generation are the people that need to kind of revolutionize, which is Uranus, a new way to work, like, and make money. And Uranus is all about, it represents, it's the ruling planet of Aquarius, which is like the eccentric. They don't follow the rules. They they do their own thing. They're not doing what everybody else is doing. So and then Neptune is kind of like, Neptune rules Pisces, and Neptune is kind of the dreamer, the idealist. They create, they're all about creating and like they kind of deal with technology. So so I feel like having all those there together is kind of like you're here to revolutionize how we work. Doing what you're doing, your online stuff, and working in that way and sharing what you share, is changing. It's a different way to work that a lot of people don't do. And so I think that you're kind of going right along that path. And then another thing, well, do you have anything you want to share before I?
No, because everything you said is exactly what I was like intuitively getting when I was looking at like the cap and like where it is. I was like, if this is generational, then it's like the millennials, it's like our problem, but also like what we came here to do, because my parents and me, totally fucking different. And like, it's just a completely different way of living. And I don't feel like the way I worked before and the way I've been living up until now fits me anymore, because it's done, it's old, it's fucking, it doesn't feel right, So all of that makes sense.
Yeah. And then also, so your north node is kind of like, I'll put the arrow here, so it's the opposite of your south node. So if the south node is kind of what you've done before, then the north node is kind of like the direction that you're moving in this lifetime. So it's kind of funny because I feel like you're going in that direction. You know, your north node is in Pisces. So Pisces is all about like letting go. There's no, you know, Pisces dissolves all the boundaries. Pisces is coming back to the oneness. It's the idealist, the dreamer, the poet, they're all about kind of like connecting everybody and sharing like the universal truth that we're all one and everything is love, and pretty much everything that you share. And it's in the third house of Gemini, which rules communication. So you know, you're communicating and sharing these things with other people, which is pretty much what you're doing, you know.
That's kind of exactly me.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Your north node, it's not a planet, you know, it's a node of the moon. So it's like, we don't really feel, well, we feel the energy a little bit, but once we're like made aware of kind of like, oh, that really does make sense for my life, you know, like, yeah, my north node is in Aquarius. And so, it makes me just realize the kind of the direction that I'm going in is like, okay, I guess this is why I'm like doing these things. It feels right. But then once you learn about it, it kind of helps you apply it more.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then I had a question about for your rising sign. Your rising sign is, so it's right here, and it's the sign that was rising, you know, at the time of your birth. So, and with it being so close to Scorpio, you feel a lot of the Scorpio energy. Yeah. Just more
well,
so.
Honestly, reading about Scorpio moon, reading about Scorpio moon, Sag rising and Scorpio rising, I identify with both.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I saw Sag rising as like, you know, unattainable goals and dreams and always shooting, blah, blah. I'm like, that sounds like me. And then Scorpio, it's like all of this intense, all of these lessons, all of these problems. Like that's fucking me too, you know?
Yeah.
I definitely feel both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I felt, you have like a kind of a Scorpio. It seems like you do have Scorpio in your chart. So with it being so close to each other, that's probably a little bit of both.
I think so. And I think, again, like with my cesarean too, like who knows how long the operation lasted, when the contractions started, like, you know, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Know?
They could have wrote down the time at like the time when they started the surgery or something, and you didn't even come out until maybe a little bit later.
Like I remember when my mom said 11/28, I remembering that like years ago when I was like all obsessed with the time I was born. But, so I remember that time, but again, like who knows, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because what if the surgery would have been half an hour later? I would have been born on the 7th. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, it's like, I don't know. They say, because I was the C-section too, so they say like whatever time you came out, you know, whether it was however it was, is what you were supposed to have. But it could be, it could be that they wrote that time down when they started the surgery or whatever, and when you actually like emerged out, you know, that it was a little bit different, because it's like right there, it's only a few degrees away from being Scorpio rising. So I'm sure you feel your rising sign is kind of, your rising sign is almost more important than your sun sign. It's like what your soul is trying to like rise into. It can be people's first impression of you, like what they first think of when they see you. So
when people see me for the first time, I don't think they see Scorpio, you know?
No. So if they were to see Scorpio, it would be like you would see they would appear kind of mysterious, and they have usually like a strong eye contact, or like just this, not glare, but like
stare.
Yeah, like they're just, when you look into their eyes, it's a really strong presence. They have like kind of a sexual like quality to them. They're like alluring, but in a like mysterious kind of, not scary, but almost kind of scary way.
Yeah. Well, I know some Scorpios. Like my sister's a Scorpio.
Okay.
So like I can sort of see that in me too, but like I don't feel scary.
Yeah. I know, I don't either, but
I feel mysterious and sexual.
Yeah. And Sag is all about that too. Sag is like kind of the symbol is the person on the horse shooting the arrow. Yeah. So they're like, they're hard to tame. Sages. They like, you know, create love and different partners. Like, why should we be with just one person? You know,
Yeah.
it's Sage's, you know, kind of way of thinking. But and Sage's the like they're the student, they're the endless student, always searching for more knowledge, and they're really optimistic, and they're really philosophical, and like to go deep into things, you know. And so does Scorpio, but Sag is more of like a philosophical in a philosophical kind of way. And I know you watch a lot of those, like or I've seen you share those videos or the recordings of people talking.
Yeah.
I like to do that too. And yeah, that's a Sag, you know, characteristic.
But I see you say those both of those completely sound like me.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like I have both of those, and that's why I feel conflicted. Maybe, you know, because when I saw the Scorpio rising, I was like, I feel like that's why I feel so conflicted, because I have all this fire, but then I have all of this like deep darkness that is just like, what? So,
Yeah.
And then with the Sag, I get it too, because I feel wild. I feel like untamed, and I feel like I should be tamed, you know?
Yeah.
But like, I don't know what that means. I don't know, like, you know? So
Yeah.
it all makes sense to me.
Yeah, because you have a lot of fire, you know. I mean, you have in your scores, so you were low on Earth, so we'll talk about that. But yeah, you have a ton of fire. I mean, you have the stellium here in fire, almost your moon, you know, being in fire too. So, and Aries is all about kind of like making things happen for themselves, you know. It's the opposite sign of Libra. So Libra is all about the other and partnering, and Aries is like, I got this shit. I don't need you. Like, I'm doing it on my own. I got it.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Damn, because imagine with 1 degree would have been Aries, 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 Aries.
Yeah, in a house of fire, in another, you know, fiery house, in the house of Leo. So, and then you have fire rising mixed with some Scorp. But it's a lot of fire.
Could you just give me 1 second? I really gotta pee.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm gonna mute me.
No worries.
Okay, I'm back.
Hey.
I'm refreshed now. I'm good.
Good. Okay. So where was I? Well, I'll talk a little bit about all those planets there in Aries.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you have your sun, which is, you know, your ego, your personality, kind of like your innate characteristics. And I'm sure you know about that. And then you have Venus next to it. So Venus is how you are in relationships, you know, it's your love nature, how you go about, like having relationships or expressing your love. So that as well you know, I would imagine is pretty fiery. Feisty.
Yeah, I'm a little bit intense when it comes to love. I fall hard and fast.
Yeah.
And then I fall out of it just as quickly.
Yeah. The fire signs are all about, you know, they're not like water where they sit and like feel and think. Fire is reactive. It just, you know, it does something and then it's like, oh, like maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, maybe that wasn't a good idea. Like, you know, like like I'll meet someone, for example, I'll meet a man and we'll have a really great connection in that moment. And in that moment, I'm just like, yeah, like this is and then with that distance, I'm just like, I'm done with that. Like, where's my next hit? You know?
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like I use it like drugs, you know?
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we definitely can. I mean, especially, yeah, with all that fire and, yeah. And then you as well. I do too. I have Mars and Gemini. So Mars and Gemini in the 7th house, I have the same thing. So, yeah, so I'll go over
I don't
there
know
real
anything
quick.
about that. So you can tell me about that because I don't know anything about Mars and Gemini.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go over there since we were talking about relationships. But yeah, so Mars and Gemini, kind of to go off of what you were saying. So Mars is like your male energy, how you assert yourself, you know, how you go about doing things or get it, like accomplishing things. So with Mars being in Gemini, you know, I have it too. It can get kind of like it wants to do so many things. You know, Mars is about doing things, and Gemini is like all over the place and really communicative and likes to just has a lot of different interests. So with your Mars being there, you might notice like if you get scattered or if you like start a lot of things and not finish them, or
That's me.
your energy is just kind of all over the place because it's in double air, which air is, you know, in their head, they're communicating and they're all about their mental, you know, their mental body. They're not like, and they're feeling so much.
That makes so much sense.
So yeah, with it being in Gemini, and then it's in the 7th house of Libra, so that's even more, you know, even more air and more like indecisiveness. But you do have a lot of fire, so that might not be as much of a thing for you as if you were like loaded with air. But
it is. I do feel indecisive because there's so many things I want to do. There's a lot of thoughts in my head. A lot of the times, once I complete a thought, I complete an idea, I'm satisfied with the accomplishment in my head.
mm-hmm.
So I don't feel the need to continue with it. But the fire in me is like, why are you just living in your head? Like, fucking produce it, you know? But in my head, whatever, like, it's enough for me. But it's not, really.
Like, just coming up with an idea of something to do and then not fully, like...
I'm not fully realizing it. Or, like, even just, like, I have all of these projects I want to start and that I have started and that I abandon halfway through, or even just at the beginning stages or right before they're done, like... I'm bored. Let's go move on. I want to be able to see things through, but I wonder, is that even in my chart for me? Like, what am I even like? Am I just a fire starter and I'm give people ideas and I'm like, go for it, and then like I pop the fuck out? Like, what am I supposed to do? You know?
Well, yeah, I mean, we all have a chart. We all have, you know, different kind of like what we were put here to do and the things that we were put here to work out and kind of, what our strengths and weaknesses are. So you actually have like a grand trine here, which is this blue triangle connecting in Capricorn here, and then in Virgo and in Taurus. So you have a grand trine in Earth, which, and Earth is like kind of the energy that you would need to follow through on those tasks, you know. Same for me. I find that if my stuff is all over the place, you know, that's a common thing for air people to just like kind of have stuff everywhere because they're kind of going in a million different directions, and maybe for fire too. Okay. Yeah. I was going to say, does that make sense?
I'm a mess, dude.
Okay. So
I'm a mess.
We'll give you some homework to help with the Earth. I had to do this too, because Earth is, my lowest element. Even though I have like 3 planets in Earth. You have 4, but it's still that's a good amount of planets. So, so it's energy that you can tap into. You just haven't really, it just doesn't come as naturally as the fire. So the fire is definitely like, you're definitely starting stuff, you know, you're putting out information every day. You're getting stuff done. Like you're delivering ideas to people, like new ways of thinking, all the information that you share. And then with the Earth that you have, I mean, available in your chart, and everybody, I mean, you can harness that. You just need to be aware of what your, lower element is, and then really do those things to help you express it more in life. Like, so the first thing would be to organize, your space, to clean, to clean just all your shit, and then to just notice how you feel. You'll probably just feel a lot lighter, and like it's easier to like get stuff done or to follow through on things when when everything's in place, and and you don't feel like as cluttered or as heavy with shit everywhere.
Yo, that's literally it. Like, and my intuition has been telling me, Laura, clear the clutter out of your apartment. There's too much shit everywhere. And then I'm like, I don't fucking care. Like, I'm a creative person. Like, it doesn't bother me, but it bothers me. Like, honestly, the disorganization, I feel, and it's not even disorganization, I have too much shit, And when I saw you get rid of your shit all those years ago, I was like, she's crazy. Like, I could never do that. But these last few days, I'm just like, my fucking shit is closing in on me right now. And like, I don't want to deal with it, but no one else is going to do it. So like, I think I have to do it.
Totally.
And I see all this earth in my chart, and you're so like, I have to take action on it. I think that's what I just need to do. Like, that might be the cure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Once you, I'm actually, it's funny you say that. I'm doing that again. I'm about to sell like even more of my shit because I feel the same way. I mean, it's not doing anything for me. Like, I'm going to keep obviously some things and some things that matter, but I have way too much that I don't need, like that I can't wear all these clothes or shoes or whatever.
All at once. No. Like,
yeah.
And I keep being set for sentimental value, or I'm like, maybe one day I'll like it, or maybe one day, but no, I don't need this stuff. Like, and there's still stuff at my mom's house. I have all of this baggage that if I let go of, I feel like emotionally I'm going to be able to let go of a lot of other stuff too.
Totally. It's super healing. I've just been going through all my old shit, and it's just like, it's really healing to like to go through old stuff. I had a lot of like notes from people and just a bunch of random shit. And it's like, just, you feel a lot lighter, but then you can also understand better, like where, this, all that you've been through and how much you've grown, and like that you don't need, you don't need a lot of this stuff in your life. And it'll help you like release, emotional attachments that we've been holding on to things, or just, just getting rid of the stuff that we don't use all the time, that we don't need, to free up space for, new things.
Everything else.
Yeah, because you do have you have a lot of earth, and your moon is in Taurus. So Taurus can like to have like, material possessions. It's ruled by Venus, which is Libra as well. Libra and Taurus are both ruled by Venus, which is the planet of beauty and harmony, and they like to have nice things. And and I like to have my little things around, but just like a healthy amount of things. We all have way more than we need. So I think, cleaning, organizing all your stuff, and like, selling it if you can, or just getting rid of it or whatever. Yeah.
And it's something I've been fighting against. I've been fighting against all these earth influences. I feel the fight, and I can't fight it anymore.
Yeah, totally.
Now, the only way to fight it is to numb myself and to completely like dissociate myself from the world. And I don't want to do that anymore. Like, I want to live. You know what I mean? I don't want to just like talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's like,
always an option.
It's still held, somewhere in our body. Just because we move away from it or like don't look at it, it's still, it's still there. And then we hold it within ourselves, like whether it manifests as physical pain in your body, and not knowing why, or however it manifests, it's still, it's important to do those earthly things. It wasn't my specialty either, and it's still not really, but at least being aware of it and knowing that, like we can't just like, for not for you, but even for me, like, oh, I can't just like create all the time, or like, oh, I'll just leave all my shit somewhere and whatever, like I don't care. But it's important to take care of, like, to do the Taurus and Virgo Capricorn, the earthly, like having lists and accomplishing, like checking stuff off the list, or doing the things that you have set out that you want to do. Not that we have to like accomplish a bunch of shit to be worthy of being here, this, but to just to be able to like have your stuff, yeah, to have an organized space and take care of the things that the earthly tasks like money, like managing our money or save, whether it's, I know in your survey, I think like saving money and stuff, those weren't, yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
and that's such a fire thing too. Like fire will spend more than they have, or they shop out of their means, or they're like, oh, I don't, like, fuck it, I'll buy this. I don't care.
Fuck it, like, I'm gonna be rich eventually. So like, that's literally my mindset. I'm like, listen, maybe right now it's not happening, but like eventually I'll be rich. So like, why can't I just live that way now? But I get that I can't. But not that I can't. It's just that like there's a way more grounded way of living the way I live right now. And I feel the anxiety of not being grounded because I'm too, and I know that it's catching up to me, like I feel it.
Yeah, I think starting with organizing your stuff and getting rid of stuff or selling stuff, I think that would be a really good place to start. And then you might just notice like you wanting to do those things, more naturally, because that's kind of like the foundation to be able to like follow through with all your fire things that you have that you want to do. And the Mars and Gemini that's so like excited about learning a bunch of different things, but just needs to like, have a little kind of direction, or to like, take that power and like ground it. It's really good to listen to, I could send you a meditation, or there's some good like grounding meditations that I would recommend.
Yes, please.
Like in the morning and at night, maybe, if you have, I don't know, do you have a hard time sleeping, or?
Like I like to be listening to something while I sleep so that I don't think too much.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. Well, that'd be good. Then you could listen to that as you go to sleep.
I usually put a meditation or like some like beat, like some music and like, those binaural beats and stuff.
Yeah.
So that I can like sleep with that in the background. So a grounding meditation would be perfect.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. And just like, sitting and envisioning yourself being like rooted in the earth, like roots coming from your hands and your feet, just like fully, taking a few seconds throughout the day to just like check in and like stop and breathe and like imagine, being rooted down, and then, continue on.
I think what scares me about like feeling too grounded, or maybe not, I don't know, this is what came into my head just now, but it's like, I'm afraid that I'm going to lose something by being too earthy. I'm afraid that I don't think I'm actually going to lose anything, but maybe I'm just afraid. I've always been afraid to go through my shit and like get rid of it. It's always been hard for me. I have stuff in my closet since high school. You know what I mean? Like I have things in my life since forever. It's the hardest for me. And when I have to go through that, I find it hard. But now that I'm looking at this chart, it's like my chart, I don't know, for me, this looks like a really good chart, like a really powerful person. And it's like, I haven't been believing that I am, and I don't know where that can come in. Like, is there somewhere in my chart where it's like fucking doubt city? Like, where's the doubt in here? Like, where's the horrible,
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, so, okay, you have these planets here that are in Capricorn, and then you have all these that are in fire. So, and then they're squaring each other. So the red lines are a little bit more difficult aspects. It's something that we need to work on. It's like something that we need, just something we need to work on in this lifetime that is really can really be one of our strengths once we've learned how, like, once we've made conscious that it's an issue in our life, and like consciously working to fix it. So basically, you have all of that in Earth, and then it's squaring all of these planets here. So it's like your sun and kind of your moon, like your wants and what you want to do can sometimes conflict with like how to go about doing it, like how to create, the job that you need, and how to create Yeah, like just how to make it happen. It's like we were in like all the millennials kind of we're like all, you know, all just thrown here and have to figure out how to like recreate a way of working and living and like making money. It's like we don't really know what the fuck we're doing, but we've got to like revolutionize, you know, kind of how people live, or at least how we live and how we make money, because it's the only way that makes sense to us, you know.
Yeah.
So
Well, that makes sense. It's good to know. I'm glad you pointed that out, that line,
mhm,
because it's good to know that like there's an opposing force, right?
mhm.
And like
Yeah.
that's just the way it is. So I shouldn't feel bad about that. It's not like, Laura, you're so bad by having this opposing force. It's like it's in my fucking chart. But
Oh
now
yeah.
that I'm clear of it, I can work on it.
Totally. Yeah. Astrology has been honestly one of like the best tools for me in my own healing, and just like better understanding why I am the way I am, why I have certain innate characteristics, or why I'm drawn to certain things, you know, maybe because of past lives. I was that in a past life, you know, or yeah, you can learn so much about yourself through your chart. And yeah, and then once you're aware of your innate characteristics, you can work with them. You can be like, you can detach yourself, you know, and be the observer, and observe them in an objective way. Like, oh, that's like, okay, my Mercury is all over the place right now in Libra, and like, oh, it wants to do a million things, and I like, okay, I need to not like just, you know, whatever. Like you can
Yeah.
talk yourself through, yeah, what's going on, or
Direct your energy too. Like when you know that you have, like I'm feeling like I know that I have strengths in certain areas and I can use those strengths, but I know that there's weaknesses too. And like to just see it in front of my face and to like have you confirm it, and to be like, it's not just like what I think about myself, which I know is obviously important, but
mhm,
like it's also just the way like I am. And like maybe this opposition of the fire and the earth, it's like maybe that's a really big part of what I need to heal for myself, so I can help other people heal that. Because everybody around me, everybody on my team, all my customers, all my clients, they're all fucking dealing with the same shit as me. And I know that it's my duty to like fucking fix shit for myself so that other people can see that, you know? So maybe that's just it.
with like wanting the people, what they're struggling with is
They're
like
struggling with all of the grounding stuff, all of the
mm,
earth stuff, all of the seeing things through stuff, all of the money stuff, all of the like, I feel like earth signs are like pretty sure of themselves, but like in like a very like practical way.
mhm,
And I'm very sure of myself in a very like just like way. But I need to be sure of myself in the practical way too, because sometimes I feel like I can't meet my own practical needs, and I'm like looking for someone outside of me to be like, let me take care of all of this for you, you
mhm.
know?
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll leave my dishes for like 4 days. I'm like, who the fuck am I expecting to come and clean the dishes? Like, do it yourself. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
feel like yeah, this is all clicking.
Yeah, your that can be too with your Mars in Gemini there. So your Mars is your male energy, and then it's in your seventh house of relationships and partnerships. So it's kind of like giving your energy to the other, you know, to the partner, to fix things, or to, you know, to make things better. And I
Wow,
have,
I've been doing that my whole life.
yeah, like giving over the power in relationships, like kind of just, you know, letting
Take it.
them, yeah.
Run the show.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I have that too. And
Yeah.
it's
Shit.
really good, yeah, to know about it, to be aware of it, and then to be like, yeah, wow, I guess I have done that, or I haven't always.
Yo, that was huge.
Yeah. Yay.
It's in my chart. Okay, so it's not just like me just being like a girl. It's like actually just in my chart.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can do about your chart. I mean,
That's fucking annoying.
we're all born with a chart, and I mean, you can learn about it and you can better work with it, but you can't change, you know, your nature. You can't change that you're a fiery, like energetic, like that's what you're here to do, you know. That's why you're here with this chart. Everybody has a purpose of what they're here to do, and yeah, and by better understanding the energy from the planets and the moon, and like, and you know, by better understanding what was going on at the time you were born, then you can work with that energy and like know that, okay, I do have a lot of earth in my chart, you know, I have a lot of earth here. I haven't like practiced it a ton because fire comes so naturally to me, and
Yeah.
in water, you know, you don't have a ton of water in your chart, but they say like, oh, God didn't give you any more water because you already have plenty. I don't have a ton of water either, but I scored a 10 and I like cry all the time. And yeah,
if I was a water sign, like it would be game over.
it would be drowning in water. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm that way sometimes.
yeah. Yeah. So,
Okay, so could you talk just like a little bit more then about like this giving my power away thing? Like,
yeah. So yeah, Mars, with Mars being there in Gemini, Gemini and Libra are both air signs. So, so Mars is your male energy and how you go about like asserting yourself, in the world. And with it being in the sign of with it being in Gemini, it can get a little bit, scattered and go in different directions. But also with it being in the 7th house, it can be just, kind of looking to the other to fix things or to take care of things. Maybe not wanting to tap into, all this earth that you have, not feeling like you can, take care of yourself, you can support yourself, you can make enough money, you can do all the things that you need to do. You don't need a partner. I mean, yeah, we'd all like, sure, at some point, maybe a partner to spend time with or whatever, but we don't need somebody, to take care of us or to fulfill our own needs. We are the feminine and the masculine, balanced and perfect harmony. So,
do you feel like there's a lot of masculine energy in my chart? Because I'm looking at these signs and I'm like, besides Taurus, everything else seems, I think, is masculine except for Scorpio, right?
Yeah, I mean, you have a lot of fire. You have a lot of fire and earth that, but you haven't like maybe felt a strong earth in your chart. But fire is like, they don't want people telling them what to do. Like they're going to do their own thing. They're taking action. They're doing things. So maybe it's just like in relationships, when you get in like the partnership with people, you are very like feisty and fiery and like not intense, but like things like, yeah. So,
but yeah.
So what was your question?
Well, I'm just kind of like in my brain, like relating this all together. Like, I don't think I had a question, but it was just more like,
about the masculine energy.
The masculine energy, because I feel like exactly what you just said. I know I don't need anybody, but sometimes it's like, fuck, like I'm taking all of this responsibility. Like it'd be so great if a man would just like fucking come into my life and be like, Laura, you know what? I got this. And I'll be like, chill, bro. Me, I'm just going to take it easy. But I know that that's not how it fucking works. So I need to do that for myself. I know that. I've just been ignoring that for a very long time.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, we say that like, oh, I just want somebody, to take care. And I've definitely felt that, like, that or feel that. But then I know deep down that, I mean, just being with somebody, I mean, even if I love them and I'm, with them for the right reasons or whatever, I still need to do things on my own, for me, at least I need to be able to kind of take care of myself. And even though you have a Taurus moon, which can maybe, Taurus is really all about they're really sensual. They're about the 5 senses. They're slow moving. They like to just, chill and relax, and they love food and all the pleasures in life. And they like their possessions, they're ruled by Venus. So that, that sign might be more okay with, not, letting somebody kind of stuff. But I think you have too much fire and too much earth that like you're here to do, you're here to do shit. And I mean, it's nice, just like it's a nice thought to have other people, like if we were just like dropped into a bunch of money or have somebody take care of all of our things or whatever. But I think, that your lesson is to learn how to, how to, like, with Saturn being in Capricorn, learn how to restructure, work, and how to support yourself and to provide for yourself, and to harness all of that fire energy and power that you have, and just tap into the earth a little bit more and get grounded, and like, clear the clutter, and just like have what you need. And then, you can make your lists and tasks of things that you need to do. And your fire will see it through it, and the earth, as long as you just just pay attention when you get scattered, or, you know, with your Mars being in Gemini, because it's a hard one to navigate. But once you are aware of it, then you can be like, okay, I know I have like a million things I'm trying to do. Let's just stick with this one thing. Right?
Yeah. That was a great explanation.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Good.
I feel honestly like I feel so like reassured and like I knew all of this somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like you said it and I'm like, okay, fucking chill. Like now I know that all the things that I've been telling myself in my head are true. All the things I should be doing are true. All of the stuff that I said, if I do these things, everything's going to be okay. If I do all these practical things right now, then you'll be set up. And it's true. So
yeah.
You feel good.
Yeah. It's just remembering what you already know, you know, it's like peeling back the layers of just like, the all the bullshit that we've been taught in the programming as we were raised, and just like getting back to who you really are, and like, better understanding yourself and where you've come from, you know, maybe other lives that you've lived, and like, just better understanding how to work with the energy that you were born with.
Yes.
So it's just, remembering things that you already know.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. Yay. Let's see, what else? Do you have any like questions or?
No, like, is there anything else I should know? Like,
well, I'll talk a little. So I shared about your Venus. So, so your Sun's in Aries, your Venus is in Aries, which is how you are in relationships. And then your Mercury is also in Aries. So Mercury is, how your mind works. And it's kind of like your thoughts and, just like the mental chatter that like replays, you know? So, so it's good to know, the characteristics for your Mercury, because then you can kind of get a better understanding of just like the unconscious, I guess, thoughts that we like can keep having. So with Mercury being in Aries, that would be, I would imagine like a way of thinking would just be like quick and like reactive, and maybe like a lot of things going on, like a lot of thoughts. And how does that?
Yes. The way I think is very fast. My mind is always going somewhere. I'm sort of distracted. I sort of find it hard to focus because there's always new ideas or new thoughts popping into my head. And I definitely feel very impulsive with my actions too, obviously, but my thoughts too.
Yeah.
It's hard to focus them because they're like a wildfire. You know, it's hard to put them out. Once I get going on a stream of thought, it's hard to like, but now with all the spiritual work I do, you know, I have like tools and stuff, but that is how my mind works.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like I'm fighting against the like intensity of the brain, you know?
When you try to like slow down or try to, okay.
Yeah, sometimes I know meditation's important, but I don't do it because I don't know why. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't do it, you know?
Yeah. I would say meditation would be a good thing to help to help with the earth. But I mean, that is your nature, you know, that is your fiery nature, and it's not like you can change so much like the innate characteristics as much as just being aware of them and really like not letting them go too far, you know, like your subconscious or whatever, the talk that you have, you know, like if it starts to go in the wrong direction or like be too much all over the place, you can kind of detach and like observe yourself and just be like, okay, let's like, I'm super excited and and passionate about this, but like, let's do this fully. Let's do this one thing. And then let's do this thing. And then, you know, so not just like all over the place, because fire can be like, oh, like this, I like this is like a pretty sparkly thing. And then this over here and this, and like, oh, this is new. And so,
but it's destructive. You know, I can see how the fire can be super destructive just as much as it could be life-giving, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And so that was Mercury?
Yeah, Mercury. Mercury is how your mind works. So you can always too just like take I'll keep sharing and posting. I'd like to, and put out videos and stuff about all these signs. So then you can, you could just watch like, Mercury and Aries or like Venus and Aries and learn a little bit more about each sign and maybe how it, is playing out for you. And, and then ways that you can work with it,
Yeah.
So, and then you have Jupiter. This is Jupiter right here in Gemini. So Jupiter's the planet of expansion. So it's kind of what you get excited about or what you like to do. And it's in Gemini. So which is the sign of communication. You love communicating with people, and talking and sharing ideas and different ways of thinking, different perspectives. You're open to whatever. You're open to all different perspectives and ways of thinking. And Gemini is like, so Gemini and Sag are opposite. So Gemini is like the student of life, and Sag is kind of like they've done the Gemini stuff and they're like the teacher of like all these philosophies, and so you have both. I mean, Gemini is here on your descendant, so it's opposite your Sag ascendant, and then Jupiter is So you have like a real ability to, it's what you love to do. You're excited about sharing stuff with people, bringing new ideas. With the Pisces North Node, like sharing the spiritual stuff and all the different things that you share. Jupiter, that's what you love to do with Jupiter being there, just talking to different people, sharing different perspectives, getting new ideas, and then turning it into, your work with all this Saturn here in Capricorn. They're making aspects there. So
that's so cool.
Yeah. Do you feel that feels
hell yeah
what you're into?
Fuck yeah. Like I've always loved talking, and I've always loved like you said, like new people, new ideas. And for me, like if I could get paid to just fucking talk all the time, like that's my dream. Like I want to go and stand or be there or fucking, I don't know, broadcast shit. I just want to talk, and I want that to be my life. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Anything, that's what it would be. I wouldn't be building this business, that business, maybe for fun, but I want to talk,
Yeah.
I don't mind my future. I see myself, the first time I saw myself like doing what I wanted to do, I was watching my, one of my teachers, someone who really inspires me, standing on a stage. I was there for her whole seminar, and I was like, that's what I want to do. I want somebody else to organize it. You know what I mean? Like my team take care of the event, take care of the venue, whatever. I just want to show up.
Yeah.
But I know it takes steps to get there, but that's what I want to do. So it does make sense.
Totally. Yeah. So, like for now, I mean, I was going to say in the future, if Earth isn't your strong point, there's nothing wrong with doing that, hiring people to take care of that stuff for you. And if it's, there's nothing wrong with that when you're able to do that. So, but yeah,
it's probably best now that I learn all this shit first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That you really handle the earthly things because that is kind of, I mean, that's totally what you could be doing, and what you kind of are doing is share. I mean, you're talking to people, and that's how you're making money, so you could put out videos, you could hold, classes or workshops. So you could do, you could do it in a ton of different ways. Yeah. But I think it's
just about harnessing the earth, because I know I want to do all those things, but it's the work that I have to do behind the scenes I don't want to do. But I see it in my chart that I'm meant to do it, you know? And maybe eventually, like you said, I can delegate this stuff out. I know I will, but at this point, I think it's up to me to gather all of my resources and make it happen for myself.
Totally.
And then I can help when the universe brings it to me. But I'm here, and like the universe is just telling me, like, do it, just start it, just do it, just like plow ahead, and then everything else is going to be given. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. You just got to. Yeah, harness the earth energy. And I think it's important, and I think that it'll become, you know, more natural and easier to you. Obviously, the more that you do it, you'll like how it feels, you know, you'll like how it
I
feels
think
in your
so.
life, and how it transfers over to all areas of your life. Once you start to clean up, you know, your house, then maybe you'll want to organize other stuff, and then it'll just make you feel, yeah, more grounded and like able to move forward with a solid foundation of like, okay, like, yeah, I've got all my shit, it's like in order here. I know what I'm doing. Like I've got my list of things that I'm doing, and now I can like move forward with all of this fiery energy of just like making it happen.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So this is like almost like it's almost like permission to like tame the fire for a second. Like, you know, it's still there, it's still burning, it's not going to go away. Like, it's self-sustaining. There's all of this fire,
For
but
sure.
now I need to use what I've got from the earth
Mm-hmm.
to plant to fucking lay my foundation.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
like right now it's just fire on nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, the
I
fire
burn
can
it all
run
up,
wild. Yeah, it can run wild and burn. Yeah.
burn
Burn
it
up
out.
everything. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
So it's not it's not like lessening your fire as much as like learning how to work with it and like get it, you know, burning in the right direction, I guess, or however you want to look at it.
Yes, but it's funny because I know fire can't be tamed, and I know Aries are very stubborn, and I'm someone
Mm-hmm.
who could be very hard on myself, but I'm also someone who could like be very like I've been told by like people who've read my energies and whatever that I'm kind of like a drill sergeant when it comes to myself, you know, and maybe that's the earth being like fucking do your shit, bitch, and the fire's like no way, you know.
Yeah,
So it's
I
like I'm
would
rebelling
say.
against myself.
Yeah, I would say that's a lot of Aries. Like Aries is they're the first of the zodiac, so they're the one like telling people what to do, and they don't have like they don't feel bad. It's and they're not doing it in a mean way, you know. They just want to get shit done, and so they're like, okay, you this, like this is what we're doing, make it happen, like let's go. They're
Yeah.
they're getting shit done. They're not like yeah, they're not like thinking about how they're saying things, and they're super reactive, you know. Somebody says something, and then an Aries person just like reacts like there's no like let me sit and think about that, you know. That's not Aries, you know. Aries is like, oh, okay, I got something for that. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Well, hold on, I have 7 text messages to say super long about how I think about this. And then 2 minutes later, I'm like, oh, mother, why did I say all that shit? I didn't mean it.
Yeah, so it's a good thing, yeah, to be aware of, and then to like, yeah, to think about it maybe before, in some situations, before you say things like, okay, am I speaking from the heart? Because that's Aries kind of like lesson is to connect, you know, to their heart, to connect to their feelings, and to share that, to open their heart, and to not just be like the drill sergeant or like, you know, having people get shit done, but to connect your heart with your words and what you're doing, you know.
Yeah.
So to just be aware, I guess, of how you could be coming off. I don't see it so much, but maybe with some of your clients or something, maybe just to
Sometimes I push people a bit, you know, but it's only because I believe in them.
yeah.
I'm just
And
like,
that's what
what the fuck are you just fucking doing nothing? Like, fucking get up.
yeah. And that's what fire, you know, they're here to start, you know, to start things, to fire people up, to get people going, like to get shit moving, you know. So that's what you're here to do. And just having your earth under control, or like focusing on your earth in those tasks, then will just help you express your fire in a more like genuine and pure way, I think.
Yeah, and less of an urgency is something I feel a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
This is also fucking urgent.
Mm-hmm.
And like, there's always this thing in my head that's like, it's not urgent. But my initial reactions are urgency, emergency. Like, let's go. Like, but yeah. I know that, and I'm taming it, you know what I mean? But it's also something that's good about me. So there's that balance, right?
Totally.
That I think I just need to be like more aware of, really.
Totally. Yeah. That's all that it is awareness. yeah, to just have a deeper understanding and compassion for yourself and why you are the way you are. Like, okay, I understand that I have a lot of, fiery energy and I'm ready to make shit happen. Maybe I just need to do the earth things. I need to ground down before I move forward with the tasks and maybe like really think about the things before I say them and make sure I'm coming off, in a way that people can receive, that's genuine and direct, but loving,
Yes, absolutely. And I feel like a really big part of, because my Gemini Jupiter thing, but like I want to tell, like, I want to tell people not what to do, but like,
Yeah.
I want to take all of this, cause sometimes I'm like, fuck, like I don't want to lose my authenticity in my groundedness, like I feel like sometimes like grounded people are too, maybe this is just my mindset, but like are too predictable. And like, I don't want to be predictable, but I want to be able to help people harness their power, ground it, and do stuff with it. I don't want to just be the girl who's just like talking, but like doesn't really, I don't want to just be like, I love who I am, you know what I mean? I'm very proud of myself, blah, blah, blah. But like, I need the earth so I can move forward and like do bigger things,
Yeah.
And I don't know where I'm going with this.
Yeah. I don't think you're not going to lose your fiery energy, your uniqueness, your you're not predictable, but so I don't know if, so what makes you feel like the earth people that they seem boring or yeah
not enough passion? It's just like, where's the passion? Like, why are you so practical? Like,
which is
boring.
Yeah. And so some people are like that. Yeah, some people have like but I was with a guy and he had like 6 planets in Capricorn, like all of his planets in Capricorn. So it's just like super, super practical and super grounded. And that's what he's here to do. His Saturn's in Capricorn and his North Node was in Capricorn. Like, fuck, everything was in Capricorn. And he's here to work. I mean, it would do him good to tap into his emotional side because Capricorn is no emotions. They're just, getting shit done. So, it could do him good to understand his energy and to see that he has so much Capricorn and to not be so hard on yourself because that is a Capricorn, trait. Yeah. But yeah, so some people are just, that's kind of what they're here to do in this lifetime. And you're not here to be that way so much. You're here to share the fire, to express, in a fiery way. But yeah, to just harness the earth in order to help you like better share your fire, better share the things that you have to do. But it won't make you, more boring or more, it's just a necessary part of life that we have to take care of those earthly tasks. Since we're here on this fucking plane, we have to do that shit in order to be able to share the powerful messages that we have to share, to share our traumas and the shit that we've been through to help other people. Like, well, why else are we here? Why else are we experiencing these things? So, and you have Jupiter in Gemini, which you love to communicate. And that's what you want to do. Yeah. For your job is just sharing your story, sharing the stuff that you're passionate about, the spiritual aspects of life, all that you share already, it's what you're kind of here to do.
You're here to do it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think we've pretty much.
Yeah, I think we've pretty much done it.
Yeah. Do you have any questions about anything or?
Okay, so just maybe like these houses, like I just see that there's a lot of like the signs all grouped in one house now. Does that mean that I'm lacking in other areas, let's say?
Because you have so much in the fifth
like
house there.
5, 7, 5 and 7.
Yeah. I mean,
like what are those houses, 5 and 7 again? Relationship.
So the fifth house is Leo and the seventh house is Libra.
Okay.
So the seventh house is rules, relationships, partnerships. It's the same thing kind of that Libra, rules, because Libra is the ruler. So if you wanted, you could go through, 1 through 12 of the zodiac. You can, look it up, or the order that it goes in. And then, 1 is Aries, 2 is Taurus, 3 is Gemini, 4 is Cancer. So yeah.
I see what they correspond with.
Do what?
I could just like see what they correspond with, like with that. This is so fucking interesting.
Yeah. The first house, so it goes in order of the zodiac. So the first of the zodiac is Aries. So Aries rules the first house. The second is Taurus. So Taurus rules this house. The third is Gemini. So that rules the third. And then Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sag, Cap, Aquarius, and Pisces. So
what's the Leo then? What's the fifth house? It's the house of what?
So Leo is the house of, Leo rules the sun. So the sun is in its natural house. So,
gotcha.
So basically the sun is very happy in the fifth house, because that's its natural, it's its natural placement. And so Leo is your life force, your personality, self-expression. Leo is the center of attention and dramatic and happy. And like Leo is like all about like, they want like, they kind of want an audience, like, oh yeah, it's me. Like, look at me. That's
I do want an audience.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So all of that shit is all of the fire, almost even the moon, like you said, it's like cusp of the fire. It's all in the Leo, in the fire. This makes so much sense. That's why I'm such a freaking like camera whore.
Fiery energy. Yeah. And then you're Jupiter and Gemini, and you want to share, that's what you love to communicate and talk and make a living doing that.
Oh my God, this is so exciting.
I'm going to pull a card for you too, but I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick. So
go for it. Me too.
Okay, cool. Be right back.
Yeah. Oops.
Okay.
Yo, feel better?
Okay.
We're back.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I was talking about the fifth house a little bit. Did you want to go into that more? You feel?
No, I think I'm good.
You're good with it? Yeah, you understand it all pretty much?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Cool.
I'm gonna rewatch this, Michelle.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I'm gonna pull a card for you. So these are really fun, and I actually have your little. Can you see it? The Aries. I have a little Aries thing with me.
Oh,
And
I love
actually,
it.
I have another reading for somebody that was a Leo, so I have this too.
Amazing.
But anyways, okay, so I'm going to show you. So these are the little astrology cards. They're really fun. They have like the zodiac houses and or the zodiac signs, house cards, and planet. So I'll pull one of each for you and see what it says. Kind of the what you need to see, the energy of the planet, the house, and the zodiac sign. So okay. So, I knew it. I knew you were going to
I love those reactions.
I knew you were going to get Capricorn. Okay. That's so funny.
No.
Okay, so let's see what we have here. So we have Capricorn for the zodiac sign. There's the little card.
Ooh, beautiful.
And it says, the energy around you is serious, materialistic, and hardworking. It bestows shrewdness and cautious ambition. So yeah, it's the little mountain goat, he's not going to stop until he gets to the top. He's just going to keep plugging away and crossing off tasks off the list. Yeah, I'll read you the little thing that it says in the book too, but then I'll share. And then you also got the sun. So it says your immortal spirit, purpose, and destiny is involved. So there's the sun. So the sun is, your life force, your
Got four. It got
characteristics.
Yeah,
and then you have the 6th house, which is the work, health, and duty area of your life.
LOL, work, health, and duty. Literally my struggles these days.
I'll show you. Yeah. So it's, I mean, the 6th house is, you got the 6th house in Capricorn. So the 6th house is Virgo. So that's all about like accomplished, like your tasks. Virgo is the sign that is super meticulous and analytical and very detail oriented. And, we just had the full moon in Virgo. And I feel like a lot of us like that. I feel like that was a really big full moon, it was a really big changing point because it was kind of connecting what happened last year in 2017, the solar eclipse that was in August of 2017. I don't know if you noticed certain things that happened around that time. And then we've kind of been dealing with that same stuff until this past solar eclipse that was about a month ago. So we've kind of been working through some of the, that shit that happened, that was started at the first solar eclipse in 2017. And then with this full moon being in Virgo, it's kind of all about, embodying the Virgo energy, which is like taking care of yourself, getting your tasks in order, organizing your things, getting grounded and really like taking care of the things that you need to do to feel, good and safe in this world. And Virgo is all about like health and daily routines and so kind of taking a look at all that and making sure that that's in alignment with what your goals are, everything that we talked about pretty much, like just doing the Virgo and the earthly tasks that we might not be super excited about, but we will come to realize that they're just as important as the other ones. Without that foundation, we can't really go anywhere.
That's true. Literally.
So I'm gonna read it to you if you don't mind. I'll read you what this little book says because I really like it.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'll start with the sun.
Yeah.
So it says the planet cards describe the part of your personality involved in the matter, and you have picked the one that describes the essential, special you, your purpose, character, and consciousness. The sun is the ruler of your whole life, your individual identity, will, or ego, and the immortal spirit or divine awareness within. It is also your connection to the life force of the cosmos. Think of how it feels when the sun shines on a beautiful day in early summer. Don't you just want to go out and feel that warmth on your skin? Note how the brightness can lift your mood and give you joy. Or think how it feels when the skies are overcast with dark, drizzly clouds and there's no sun. Remember the heavy, lifeless feeling of a gray day when the sun is missing. The sun describes that part of you that is full of light, warmth, and confidence, your potential, authority, and purpose, the real essence and strength of you. This special energy is important, for it is the focus of your whole life on this plane. But it is also the spirit part of you that lives on into eternity. It encapsulates the past, present, and future in the other realms, where you exist outside of this dimension. It could be said to be your destiny, but outside of space/time in this world, the transcendent higher vibration of you that is in contact with both worlds, but leads you very openly and obviously in this one. It is the divine child within, your Holy Spirit, if you like. This card can also represent something that you consider to be your whole life, such as your career, if it is all consuming in your reason for living.
Yeah, it is. I think it
Yeah.
is. I used to
Yeah.
think my reason for living was like romantic relationship, but now I realize like it's not. It's really like my like life purpose to like teach people.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, to be a teacher. Yeah, you have Sag rising. So Sag is the teacher. Sag is like, yeah, they're here to share the wisdom and to spread joy. Sag is the endless optimist, you know, they're always looking for a way to, yeah, like spin it and be like, okay, it's fine. But,
yeah.
but another thing with like Sag and the other fire is to just, they can kind of like, I don't think it would be a problem for you because you have so much water because they can like disassociate from their feelings, but I don't think that you really have,
Sometimes I do, but not for a long time. And
yeah.
I feel the pain of that and it hurts me. So I'm doing a lot of work in that area.
To kind of go into them and sit with them and see what's
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. Like I've definitely, brushed off my emotions and stuff. But these days, like I told you with like that birth experience, like I'm going deep on purpose because I know that those are the keys to my healing. And that's why I'm here. I'm doing this stuff because I know that there's stuff that I need to, fix and work on.
Totally. Yeah.
And that sun card just made so much sense.
Yay. Okay. So now we'll do the Capricorn card.
Yes.
So the energy around you is a great gift if you are trying to complete a project or succeed in a task, for it encourages hard work, stamina, and material achievement. Whatever the environment, you have a rock-steady energy that will give you tremendous success in time. This zodiac sign is known for its shrewdness and wise caution. Matters can be approached seriously and contently, for Capricorn knows that above all the other zodiac signs, it can win. Capricorn never loses. It cannot be beaten. It doesn't matter if it takes years and years. Capricorn will triumph in the end because this masterful sign exists for achievement, and it doesn't miss a single step until it is there. If you are facing a scenario that requires authority, you will find you have it, or you should be able to find the person that can give it. This energy is shrewd, and it can make you aware of the hidden agenda or help you develop your own. It brings an ability to pack a bag with absolutely the right kit and tools for the job. So if you are a mountain climber, you will be well equipped for the ascent. As you can see from the image on this card, the mountain goat is well able to carry the heavy things up the mountain and seems quite happy with his load. This energy brings to mind the saying, if a job is worth doing, it is worth doing well, and there is no time for frivolity. One thing that can be achieved is a sense of having worked for the success in that, and that makes it all the more worthwhile. Sometimes the easy road can make something meaningless since it wasn't worked for. To have a purpose is to feel fulfilled.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, like, wow.
Yeah, I think think it is pretty clear that
Yeah, that's
you,
pretty self-explanatory.
yeah, you have it. Yeah, you've got
I
it
do.
all, and you know the energy that you can tap into.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and it's nice, you know, it'd be nice to have people take, you know, we think that it would be nice at least to have all the things or whatever, but we kind of have realized that, like, if people just, you know, give us stuff or throw things at us, or even if we, you know, just acquire a bunch of shit, it's like, it doesn't really do anything, you know. It doesn't, like, we don't really care, we don't really value it as much as if we did it ourselves, and it was something that we were really passionate about, you know, to make money sharing what you're truly passionate about and do what you're truly passionate about, I think will bring you more happiness than if, you know, if somebody just gave it to you
Gave it
or
to me.
whatever. Yeah.
That's so true. And it's really interesting because I feel that this very independent, like I can not I can do it. It's like it's me to do it. Like I can and will and am doing it all on my own. And then there's this part of me that's like, oh, but maybe like we should depend on people. But sometimes I feel like, yeah, you know, sometimes I need people, but most of the time I feel like I can do it. But like, it's like, you know, you listen to a lot of stuff where it's like, let the universe help you and like let people in. So for a while I kind of got like dependent upon that. But this whole reading, like I'm telling you, like I feel so empowered right now that like, but like it's written in the goddamn stars. Like, you know what I mean? Like I can't fucking argue with evidence like that. You know?
Yeah, you can't fight your fate. You can't argue with what you were given with. You can just better, you know, learn about it and understand it and have compassion and so much love for yourself and what you've, you know, gone through to get to this point, and the struggles that you have that are within your chart, you know, that you can become conscious of and better understand how to work with them and to turn them into strengths, you know. Once you've become so aware of it, you can change it, you know, you can work with it better.
Yes. Oh my God,
Yeah.
I love it.
So you have one more. I'll read. So it's the 6th house. So the 6th house is Virgo. So, yeah. So this one says, this area of your life is the realm of work, duty, and service. It includes health and matters to do with wellness and fitness. It also concerns how we care for our bodies with regard to regular medical matters, such as routine health appointments. You may have...
I don't do that.
Yeah.
But it's okay because I received it, so it's fine.
Yeah, I don't know if like I mean, maybe, I guess I don't believe in like Western medicine or those kind of...
I don't either. But like, you know, sometimes you gotta go get things checked out.
Yeah, like an OBGYN, like a yearly,
Yeah.
like a pap smear,
Like
those
go
kind
get your
of
pap
things.
smear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I recently did, and like it's interesting because like, you know, I got like results back and stuff, and it's like, you know, now I have to go back. They got to do more tests, and I'm like, fuck. I like, you know, like there's this stuff that like happens in your body, but I know that it's not just my body, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why like that earth stuff, like to be aware of my body and to be aware of like material stuff had always like, because I let it go for so long, felt scary. But now that I'm taking control of it again, there's nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like the health matters, different things going
Health
on.
matters. Yeah, like I need to go to the dentist. You know what I mean? Like there's things I need to do. Like there's stuff that needs to get fixed that I just don't want to do, you know? But I need to do it. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and our like in our nutrition, and that is equally as important as like the thoughts that we're telling ourselves too. You know, our mindset, I think, is more powerful even than the food we're eating. But yeah, really just being conscious of it in all the different ways that you care for yourself, which I know you're pretty into that. Yeah, like just being aware of what we need to do to take care of ourselves. So
yeah.
So
there's more to the card.
Yeah, more to the card. Medical. Okay. You may have concerns about your health and decide to take up diets, nutritional supplements, or exercise routines to manage your health better. In this house, we worry about overindulgence and deny ourselves too much self-gratification. So it is a good time to reduce the calories you consume. If you select a zodiac card, it will describe the universal energy that influences these matters. Now, a planet card will tell you which part of your personality or ego is absorbed with it. So it says, if you select a zodiac card, it will describe the universal energy that influences these matters. So it's, so Capricorn is the universal energy that's influencing And then a planet card will tell you which part of your personality or ego is absorbed with it. So the planet is your sun, which is just your core, your ego, your will to live, your life force. So it says this area of your life also includes work that must be done, the working environment or fellow workers. The work could be done for an income or to keep your house in good order. Hundreds of years ago in astrology, the sixth house also included one's servants. It is still about service today, but now it is how we serve. It is in this house that we can find pleasure and fulfillment when a task is well done, because we feel good when we honor our sense of duty and hard work. One last thing concerns worry, for this is the worry area of your life. If you are worried, then you should know that this is to be expected and entirely in keeping with this part of your personality. Your concerns are simply a part of life that we have to dip into now and again. They keep us on our toes and make sure that we pay extra special attention to something that we wouldn't bother with otherwise. So no need to worry too much about your worries.
Wow. No, I'm telling you, honestly, like, yes, you know, like I'm vegan, I eat well, I exercise, blah, blah, blah. But like, also like, not recently, I've been focusing on my nutrition more, but I let that, honestly, everything that was earth and grounded and taking care of myself, I just kind of like, well, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? And it came at a price. I felt it in my physical body, you know, and this card just really reconfirms that it's like, you know, I had all of these things down and then I kind of went into whatever. And it's like, just go back to like this, take care of these things, and everything else that you want to be doing, Laura, is going to get done when this stuff is, when you take care of you and your life and your home, you know?
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. And have your tasks in order, have a clean space, you know, to allow for, like just lightness and clean thoughts, you know, not feeling like, like your stuff is weighing you down. I think all of it going together will, help you just, fully use all that fiery energy to accomplish the things that you want and to go in the direction of your North Node and your Jupiter, which is sharing things with people, sharing spirituality, sharing self-love stuff, sharing all the things that you're passionate about, all the shit that you've been through, all the trauma and like the hard times that you've been through, you know, the self-love stuff. I speak for myself too. And to share that with other people. That's what you're passionate about and what you've gone through. You know, there's medicine in our traumas.
Wow, that's true. You have the same Jupiter in Gemini?
I have the same Mars in Gemini. My Jupiter is in Leo in Sag.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So,
dude, you're so good at this.
Thank you. It was so fun. I love talking to you about this and pulling the cards. I love it. I love talking about this stuff. So I'm glad that it makes sense and you feel you have some like practical things that you can apply and yeah.
It feels good to have like a diagnosis. It's like, Laura, you have been diagnosed with the fact that you need to organize your shit. And I like it because I mean, like, I don't know, like the way you shared everything was really just like, I don't know. I'm just like watching you and I'm like, I need to tell everybody about this.
Yeah.
Like if somebody has a problem, like they need to come see you and get their chart read. Like, that's just what I'm feeling right now. Like, I feel like this has been the answer for me, you know?
Yay.
Thanks.
I'm so glad. Yeah.
Thank you for taking all this fucking time for me.
It's all good. I love it. Astrology has done so much for me in my own healing. It's probably been, just one of the most powerful tools to really go deep and like really understand like how my mind works, how I am in relationships, all the squares that things are making, where I can get tripped up, you know, with the earth and my earth squares or all those planets in Capricorn square, my sun too. So, like kind of having conflicting energy of knowing, you know, kind of what you want to do, but like how to go about it, but just taking the steps, you know, just one thing at a time, doing the earthly things, you know, cleaning your stuff, having a list, like knowing, you know what you want to do and just like, okay, like I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to cross these things off the list until I like accomplish what I know is for me to do, you know, what I'm here to do in this life.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. I had so much fun.
Me too. And could you take a picture of those of the cards and like the things and just like email it to me, like with the recording or something?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. You didn't get the recording. I'll send you the recording and the cards and yeah.
Yeah, because I can't record from here, but like, I mean, I usually upload it on YouTube and like make it private and just like send the link to whoever. Like that's what I do.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe that would be good.
Okay. Oh, you upload yours to YouTube and then
because otherwise it's like if you send it as an attachment and it just seems like a big waste of time for me personally, you know?
Okay.
I'll just like upload that shit and then just send a private link to whoever or unlisted. Yeah.
Okay. I'll work on that. I should be able to figure that out today.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like, have you ever done it before?
I haven't.
Okay, simple. So when you get off of Zoom, that dialog box of recording is gonna pop up, right? Mm-hmm. So all I do is I open my YouTube on the upload page and I just like drag the video file from like whatever pop up just like into YouTube and it just like uploads. Okay. And I call it like a session with Laura or whatever, and then like unlist it and just like send the link. So it's not public or private, but that only the people who have the link can watch it.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then it'd be even good for you to like have them on your YouTube if ever you want to like go back and like, learn something or, like.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. Practical things. Yes.
Yeah.
We like it.
I'm already learning.
You're already getting on it. Yeah. All the practical things.
Yeah.
Yay.
Oh my God, great.
Awesome. Well, I will get that to you soon. And thank you. It was so fun. Let me know if you have any questions or have any more questions.
Well, I'll always I'll hit you up. Like if ever I think about something or, I'll even keep you updated about like how I'm going about things,
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Share that with me.
Yeah. And I'll definitely like share with people about this session and like how I feel and like everything, because like, I really feel like I said, this is just solidifying everything for me. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I wanted to say too, you're set with your Saturn return. So you're entering your Saturn return or you're in it.
I'm in it
already.
Yeah.
Okay. Cause so Saturn's in Capricorn and it's in, did somebody tell you, or do you know what degree it's in?
No, but like they say that it's every 28 to 30 years of your life, your Saturn like does a complete turn or whatever. Yeah. That's what they say.
So I'm not sure what degree Saturn is in right now. I don't know if it's in, because yours is in 13 degrees. So it technically starts like right when it's in 13 degrees in the sky too. But,
okay, so I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. So either way, it's coming. So which is all about work. It's all about all the earthly things that we've talked about. So you're right. I mean, you're right on time with everything that's going on and kind of, it's your first Saturn return. So it's just a time to really focus on that part of your life and to kind of learn that lesson from Saturn, to get to have a loving relationship with Saturn, because Saturn's kind of like the fatherly, like, okay, like this is what we have, it's time to learn this lesson. So respecting it and working with it, which is what you're doing by working with your earth energy, tapping into that. So.
And I was also just like looking into numerology, just like quick side note, and like my personal years, because we all have personal years. Do you know about numerology? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So last year was a personal year too for me, which is like a year of slow shit. And then year 3, I think, is like a year of like advancement in career and like working on plans and like working hard. So this all makes a lot. This is just like, it's where I'm at in life right now. And you know what? Like, I'm happy about it. Like, I'm happy to know, and like, I'm ready to go for it. Like, I'm ready to fully embrace all of the fire just as much as the earth. Like, I want to raise that up because I want to be equal in all of my elements. I want to be balanced.
Totally. Yeah. You're about to have your Saturn return. It's about to start Aries season 2, which is your time about taking action, and it's a time for new birth, birthing new things, like new projects or new information or a new way of whatever being after you clean your space. I feel like it'll be just a new feeling. So on.
So excited. Right on.
Awesome.
Thank you, girl. You're awesome.
Thank you. So fun. So are you.
So
keep doing awesome things. Oh, and I was going to ask you about that egg. Do you leave it in all the time, or how does that work? I want to get one of those.
So I usually leave it in until I feel like I need to take it out. You know,
Yeah.
so, like, I'll have it in for a few hours and like I'll go pee and stuff. Just if you're pooping, it's gonna come out. So
Okay.
like don't force too hard when you're at the bathroom, or just take out the egg poop and put it back in if you want. But honestly, like I've had it in during the night. I've had it in all day. I've had it in for a few hours or a couple minutes. Like it's as you wish. Sometimes I put it in like when I had to have a heart-to-heart conversation with someone. And so I'll leave it in for the whole conversation. Like it's really just like personal, but I wouldn't recommend starting with a bunch of hours or starting with sleeping, because your body's not used to having that object in there, and then it feels weird after. So start off slowly, and then build your tolerance, let's say. But you're pretty intuitive when it comes to your body too, and like your body's pretty pure, and like you wear a lot of crystals, so I think you'll be able to have a good communication with the crystal when it's inside, you know?
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I love that. I want to get one because I saw that it could help with cramps and stuff too. So I'd like to, yeah, I want to try that because I get bad cramps.
Oh, it's gonna help you for sure. Like, don't put it in when you're on your period, but any other time is fine. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, like, choose the egg according to which stone you want. I have a rose quartz, so it's just like, you know. But I hear clear quartz is really good, and obsidian is really good too. But I guess it depends on what like issues and stuff like you want to be working through.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be good for you to wear any, like obsidian or black grounding stones too. You could look into that. Yeah.
Hold up, I've got my black tourmaline right here.
Yeah, there you go. You're ready.
I'm ready. Yeah, and I have like I have an obsidian. I don't have an egg, but I have like a wand.
Oh,
So
cool.
I use that. And I know that that's very like protective and stuff like that. I sleep with it too, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Awesome.
And I can send you the link for the discount code too on the website where I buy my stuff.
Okay.
She
Yeah.
has a 10% code that she gave me for whoever wants to use it. So I can send that to you for sure.
Cool. Yeah. I'd love that. I'd love to get one of those.
It's a good investment. Like it's a little pricey, you know what I mean? It's like $80 or $88 for the egg. But I mean, like, you know what I mean? It's a fucking crystal. Like, you know, you're not afraid to spend money on that shit, so it's fine.
Yeah, you can have it forever. So
You literally, yeah. And it's easy to like cleanse and like disinfect and stuff. It's amazing. Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, dude. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I will talk to you later then.
Talk to you later.
And I'll send you the email with this stuff.
Yeah. Take your time.
Cool. All right.
Have a good day. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You too. Take care.
Bye, girl.
Bye.